Ambient Weather WS11 Advanced Weather Station. I have been using this for several months, been meaning to get around to a review of it. Here I finally am with that. I keep this on my desk at home, next to my desk, next to my computer, mostly so I can tell the temperature. A little disclaimer for this review, I'm not a meteorologist, and I'm pretty good at telling hot and cold, and humid and not humid. Past that, a lot of the meteorological stuff, relative humidity, barometric pressure, gets a little bit over my head. So I'll try and describe this in as coherent of terms as I can, but this thing has so many features and customizability built into it that a lot of it is a little bit probably over my head and what I could coherently use. Nonetheless, it's a nice weather station with lots of information. Like I said, I keep it sitting here on my desk, and it's easy for quick access to the temperature. Yeah, you could use your phone, but is your phone next to you? Click it on, let me see what the temperature is. Here I can just see, oh, outside it's 37 degrees today. It's a little on the chilly side. Let's have a look at the construction of it. It can be powered by two options. It comes with a charger that you can use to plug in right there, plug it into the wall, or it can also be powered by 4 AA batteries. There's a stand here that you can use to stand it up and put it right there on your desk. It also comes with a remote sensor, and I have that mounted outside. They recommend mounting this somewhere under an awning, somewhere where it's going to be a little bit protected from the weather and not in direct sunlight. That way it'll give you a little bit more accurate temperatures. I've had mine out there for several months now. The batteries worked very well. I've had no problems with the battery dying, and it's protected. The weather doesn't get to it under my garage awning there. It's worked pretty well. Let's have a look at the information you get on this. The top row is going to have the indoor temperature. The second row is going to have the information from the other sensors. This can handle up to 8 different sensors, and you can set it to toggle between those every 5 seconds. I only have the one other sensor that I keep outside, and so it shows all that information right here. Two big things: it has the temperature and the humidity, then down below it, the highs and the lows. You can set it either in Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then there's this arrow right here, points up, straight, or down, and that shows the rate of change. If it's pointing straight across, no change. Up or down for the temperature means it's greater than 2 degrees in 30 minutes, and up or down for the humidity means it's greater than 5% every 30 minutes. And then it shows a little face here: dry face, comfortable face, wet face, dry face below 45% humidity, comfortable face 45 to 65%, and wet face, sad face apparently, above 65% humidity. These settings, if the sensor that you have is a little bit off from what you think the temperature should be, they are customizable, so you can get in there. My temperature was reading just, I think, about 3 degrees off, so I went and customized it down to what I thought it should be, and now it's accurate, matches up to my phone and the local weather readings. The bottom display here is very customizable depending on what you want to see on it. Starting in the bottom corner here, I have the time displayed. You can change that between the time and the day, the date, or just the time. Next is the pressure. You can change that between either absolute pressure or relative pressure. You can go from there to toggle the outdoor temperature to the dew point. From that, you then go over here to the graph, and you can toggle 24 hours or the last 12 hours, whatever you'd prefer. Over here, you can change this graph for different options. Right now, I have it set to the outdoor temperature change for the last 24 hours. You can change it to the outdoor humidity, relative barometric pressure, indoor temperature, indoor humidity, and back to the outdoor temperature. This little icon up here tries to show which direction the weather is going. So there's a couple different options. It can show sunny. This is a little bit confusing. Show sunny, pressure's rising. It can show the nighttime. It can show, this is what I have it at right now, which shows that either the pressure is falling and it was sunny, or the pressure is rising and it was cloudy. So it can be a little bit confusing, but I guess you just need to correlate that with the pressure, and you can kind of figure out where that's going. Some other interesting features this has: it has a backlight, which you can just access by, you probably can't see it too much in the camera here, you can access it by turning it on here. You can have that backlight actually change to different colors based on the temperature. And again, just kind of going back to the manual here, we'll go through these different colors. If you want just a quick glance at it, you can get an idea, and you can actually set this to different settings for you depending on where you are, because if you live in Alaska, you might think cold is different than if you live in Arizona. So you can set it to these different colors, so it automatically changes through the different temperatures, and you can just quick glance at it and you can say, oh, it's red hot, it must be hot outside. It also has an alarm here, and you can set it so that the temperature goes above or below certain temperatures, the alarm will sound. You can also set just a regular alarm there. So I think that covers most of the points of it. Overall, I've enjoyed using it for the past couple months. There's a few quibbles with it that I might change. The display, it's very big, it's very easy to read. However, there's a lot of information on it, and sometimes when I just glance over at it, and I'm mostly concerned about the temperature, and sometimes because the numbers are all the same size, I have trouble figuring out which is the temperature I'm interested in. I might like it if the temperature was maybe a little bit bigger font than the humidity, just so you could look at the bigger number, hone on that a little bit quicker. And also some of the features, if you don't use them frequently, like I want to change the graph. How do I do that? Oh, it's this button here. If you don't use them frequently, you might forget what they are, and it's not necessarily intuitive. If you use them all the time, great. But otherwise, you may forget how to use some of the different features, and you may forget what some of the icons mean. Overall, though, I've enjoyed using this. I'll put a link to it in the show notes here. Price on this around $79. It's not super cheap, but as I mentioned, you get a lot. Especially if you're into weather, you get a lot of functionality with this. So check one out, the Ambient Weather WS11. Ambient Weather WS11 Advanced Weather Station. I have been using this for several months, been meaning to get around to a review of it. Here I finally am with that. I keep this on my desk at home, next to my desk, next to my computer, mostly so I can tell the temperature. A little disclaimer for this review, I'm not a meteorologist, and I'm pretty good at telling hot and cold, and humid and not humid. Past that, a lot of the meteorological stuff, relative humidity, barometric pressure, gets a little bit over my head. So I'll try and describe this in as coherent of terms as I can, but this thing has so many features and customizability built in.